Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz, business coach for Black women and women of color. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to create authentic content in 30 minutes or less without a content calendar. Content calendars are helpful when you're just starting out in your business, just trying to begin that rhythm of creating content ideas in the first place. But after a while, and as my clients have also seen, they kind of get a bit impressive. It can be difficult to sit down and really try to generate ideas to fill up a whole content calendar and then block out time to actually sit down and create this stuff when life is happening, when you're busy, and it's really hard to force yourself to get into flow. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can maintain the benefits of a content calendar while also creating content in alignment with how you actually naturally generate ideas and get excited to create. Let's get started. So the number one way to create content that is authentic is to let the ideas come to you. So instead of thinking about sitting down and forcing yourself to come up with something from scratch, think about ways that you can actually be receptive to new ideas that come into your mind. And think about how you can take advantage of those moments by capturing those ideas in a way that's easy for you. So maybe you get ideas when you like to go on walks. And so you'll want to have your phone handy so you can take down notes of different ideas that come to you. You don't have to necessarily start typing out the whole thing or creating the entire piece of content, but just the idea and maybe even a few points, phrases, or even one sentence that you know will help jog your memory and refresh the passion you felt in the moment when you first thought of the idea when you actually go to sit down and write it. So making sure that you have an ability to take notes when these ideas come to you. I have friends who use shower notes. When they get ideas in the shower, there's like waterproof notepads they can stick on their shower walls and they just jot notes down there. So there's a ton of different ways to do it. There's no wrong way. The idea is that when ideas come to you, you want to have an easy way and a quick way to be able to just quickly jot them down as you go. These ideas that come to you, they're going to be the ideas that you're most excited about in the moment. You're going to be super passionate about them, and you're going to be really excited to get started with them. So jot them down, keep them safe. And if you have multiple ideas coming to you at once, which normally happens that way, once you have one, then it starts triggering other awesome ideas that you start thinking of for content. Write them all down and keep them handy. I have a Google Doc, and what I like to do is I like to jot down the ideas as they come and then maybe note dates next to them so that I know when ideally I'd like to push that piece of content out. All right, so that was the first part, making sure that you're capturing the ideas that come to you. We want to get away from this idea of you have to sit and force yourself to think and create, because that's basically what we do every day at 9-to-5 jobs, what we did our whole lives in school. It's icky, it's gross. We don't want to do that. We want to just have this flow as seamlessly as possible. And the easiest way to do that is just let your ideas come to you and then jot them down as you go. Now, when it comes to actually writing out the content, here are a few things to keep in mind. You don't need huge chunks of time to be able to actually create your content. You can literally do it in just 30 minutes or less. So don't worry about having to carve out full afternoons or hours and hours of time on your calendar to sit and force yourself to get it done. No. It does not need to take that much time. There are a couple ways to do this. If you are partial to blocking out some time on your calendar, go ahead and do so. I have clients that do like to do that, and so they'll carve out like a 30-minute chunk, keeping it short and sweet and small on any particular day that they like. And there are other people, like myself included, I like to kind of just write when I'm feeling like it, when I'm just feeling in the moment of doing it. So whether you decide to actually sit down at your 30-minute time chunk that you've selected to write, or if you decided to just kind of create in the moment when you happen to feel like writing at that particular moment of the day, the important thing is that when you look back on your content idea, so the original idea that you thought about on your walk or when you were in the shower or taking a bath or mowing the lawn or whatever, that whatever you're talking about, like it reignites that fire in you about it. Now, you don't necessarily have to feel the same level 10 feelings you felt when you thought about it at that present moment when you were taking a walk or whatever. But you at least want to get as close as you can to that. Like, you want to make sure that when you look back on that idea, that you still feel in perfect alignment with that idea. Enough so that maybe you don't feel level 10 feelings about it, but you feel maybe like level 7, level 8 feelings about it, so that you can start writing again. And as you start writing or start creating the content, in that moment of flow, the idea will help you to get back to a 10. I think there's this misconception that once you have a great idea, that you will stay like perfectly in love with that idea, level 10 feelings, all the way from the thought to the moment you create it to the end. Like, that's not how our brains work. You will be in love with the idea when you first think about it. And then once you step away from it and you get distracted by life and other things and you come back to it, you're not going to feel the same exact way because that moment has passed. But that's fine. As long as you're creating content that you are in alignment with, you can tap back into that level 10 energy through the creation process. And that's how, through that creation process, time seems to contract for you. And what used to take you like an hour to do will take you like 30 minutes or less to do. Sometimes I can create content in like 10, 15 minutes. I just suddenly am in the mood to do it. And I have my tools handy on my phone, my notes and ideas, where I can just jot it out and I can get it done like that. Now, the next crucial step that makes all of this actually work is making sure that you don't over edit or overthink what it is that you're creating. Oftentimes, it's not so much writing out the words or speaking to the camera that's taking you 2 hours to do. It's trying to remove every single mistake or flaw that you see. It's trying to edit out every and ah, or it's trying to over edit your words and second guessing the words that you chose because you're not sure if it'll convey the right thing that you're trying to convey. It's a lot of extra effort that is based off of perfectionism, which we're getting rid of in our businesses. Okay, so make sure that you're not over critiquing or over analyzing every single thing that you create. Like, that's how you make authentic content. Authentic content is content that just comes to your brain. Like, it comes to your brain and no one else's brain because it is your brain. So allowing it to come to you pure, flow through you pure, and then do as minimal edits as possible so that you can get it finished quickly and also show your most authentic, real self. So make sure that whatever editing that you're doing, that you're using it to amplify your idea and not tone it down, not trying to make it palatable. Any corrections that you make, if you find yourself making the correction because you're thinking, oh, I'm afraid what someone will think if I say it this way, or I think that this might be too much, like, that's a sign that you're over editing. That's a sign that you're trying to be a perfectionist with what you're doing and you're trying to make it more appeasing or palatable to the masses instead of talking directly to your people. Any edits that you make should feel like hell yeah edits. They should feel like edits where you're like, yes, this nails it's the hammer on the head. Nails the hammer, hammers the nail. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, any edits should just be icing on the cake, not toning yourself down. All right, and before we close this video out, I have to talk a little bit about repurposing. Repurposing is huge and it can be such a lifesaver. Literally, it can turn a 30-minute content creation process into like a 10-minute content creation process, especially if you're someone who has created a ton of content in the past for your business already and you've put it on like Instagram or an email list, something where if people don't see it within that week or day or so, then it kind of gets lost in the social media content graveyard. Repurpose that because it was great content that came to you however many months ago and can definitely serve your people again, because there's always new people coming into your audience who have not seen it before, that either have not seen it or have already forgotten about it, because content on, especially on social media, is consumed in the present moment. People will read it and they will love it and they will forget about it. By the end of the day, it is gone from their memory. But your great content deserves to be brought back up to the surface. So instead of trying to create something brand spanking new every single time you post, which is going to have to be pretty consistently, especially if you're trying to grow your business, bring that stuff back from the depths and remix it. Add your update to it. Actually, next week's video is going to be an update to a video I did almost a year ago about decolonizing your business. And a year later, I have so much more great information I can add to that and really just give it a fresh new take. I'm super excited for that. But if I decided, oh, I can't talk about decolonizing my business again because I talked about it a year ago, it's like, what sense does that make? No, it doesn't make any sense. So definitely let that stuff have some fresh air. Bring it out. There are always going to be people in your audience who have never seen it at all or have seen it and forgot about it. So let them be reminded about something that will really help them and serve them. Make sure you're repurposing your content. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at The Other Liz Walker. There I give even more business marketing and mindset strategies and tips for you to grow your business. And if you need help, one-on-one coaching to make your first 1K with ease so that you can rinse and repeat through the life of your business, doing it your own way, then use the link below in the description box to book an interest call, and I'll be happy to see if it's a good fit. I'll see you next week. Bye.